Hey, what's up, everybody? Um, I wanted to get on here and discuss a topic that I really want to bring your attention to you all, and I think it's a pretty serious topic for me to talk about. And this is related to gaming. So, the topic is going to be the plague of DOC. I wanted to talk about this because I think it is a pretty serious problem that is damaging the gaming industry. Now, if you look around the games that were released back in the 80s, the early 2000s, what is the biggest difference in how that generation was at the time compared to this past generation? Let me tell you that it is because of the disease of the gaming industry called DLC. And I want to present why DLC is bad for the gaming industry and how it can ruin gaming in the long run and why gamers worry about what might happen in the future. I am very worried about this because to me, uh, DLC, like I said in the live stream, is very anti-consumer, and plus some things that gaming developers need to take into consideration that should happen immediately because this whole DLC thing is not working as of late in this gaming generation. Now, I want to show you something that I that I that I've been working on, and I wanted to present this because it is related to the topic that we're discussing in this video today. Um so I'm gonna open up this. I'll present from the beginning. So there are problems with DLC. Okay, problems with DLC, and There is a Spanish translation for everyone who can't, for everyone who reads Spanish. I put that in Spanish next to the English. So, what is downloadable content? For people who don't know what downloadable content is downloadable content is extra content or an add-on that you pay for with actual money in the game you're playing. So, for example, if you're playing Call of Duty Ghost or Mass Effect 3, you will get an add-on or you will get some type of downloadable content that you will pay for out of your own money after you spent the hard-earned $60 for that game. So that is what downloadable content is, I and I think it is a load of BS that this is still happening in this generation. So I will go on and continue. So two there's like two or th- there's like three types of downloadable content that I know of. Um, so um so there's three types. So there's new features where you can you can go and get extra characters, cosmetic extras, extra characters, cosmetics, new clothes for your character in certain games. So this happens in certain games, and the next type is season passes, where in let me think of an example. That is the second type of downloadable content that you can get. The third type is items. So like if you are if there's so like there's items that you have to specifically get because You have to get specifically because you need help with this certain mission, or you need help with this certain part of the game. Then you need that certain item, and then you have to spend your hard-earned money for that. So that's another type of downloadable content. So yeah. So the problems with downloadable content is, for me personally, the problems with downloadable content is they release games half baked. So what this means is that you are getting a game, you are getting a $60 game that has like has half of the stuff that isn't half of the stuff is already taken out. So let's say you got let me use Call of Duty Ghosts as for an example. Your game is gonna be half baked. It's gonna be half the experience, and half the experience is not a complete game. I've seen a lot of incomplete games, and it is very sad. It is very sad for what they do. Next thing is they charge too much money. They charge way too much money for this, and I would say maybe $5 more or $1 to $5 more would be reasonable. But they charge over like 15, like $10 to $25 for this. They charge for like $10 to $20 for this for this add-on thing, for this DLC thing. And what I can say is that having that is very bad. I don't understand why. I don't understand why people need to pay so much just to get a released game, a game that is supposed to be complete, that is needs to be complete right out of the box, and they charge like 50, 20, 10, and they have too many unnecessary add-ons for your character or the game. They add for you to get for your character or the game itself, because they like to add those necessary add-ons that they want. So let's take for example Fortnite. Let's take for example Fortnite. Fortnite is a game where you're shooting people. Like you're shooting what are those, like characters, like those like it's like a shooting game. I think it's like a simulator, but uh but they make you pay for these skins, and they make you pay for all this stuff using V-Bucks, which the V-Bucks are not free. The V-Bucks you have to pay in order to get all the stuff you want out of the game. So that's what's so terrible about it. Then they want to promote the DLC before the game is scheduled to release. Um, there's one occurrence that happened. There was GTA Liberty City. So it was released like way back in the day, and I remember that the Liberty City Stories hasn't been released yet, but the developers are already talking about the DLC because, well, they want to promote the DLC and they want to get even more money out of your pockets. Great, 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 great. That's just very great in their part, right? Uh-huh. Okay. Um, Next thing is that you have to pay to progress through the story. So like if you're playing like Star Wars Battlefield, and this is something that I want to address. So how can we fix the problem with DLC? So how can developers fix the problem with DLC? Here's something I want to go on. Um, First of all, you need to limit the add-ons for the you need to limit the add-ons for the clothes, badges, whatever make you, and limit the add-ons that you get for your character. You have to pay for them, which is gonna be like $10 to $15 more than the actual game that you purchased. So, um, what I say by this is limit the add-ons to only one or two things that you can get, but leave the rest of the stuff like badges, etc., and make it free. That's all you need to do. And next thing is stop adding so much DLC. You know, the DLC. I know DLC makes you even more money in your pockets, but the DLC is not going to be worth the money because most people are getting fed up with it and they don't want to see DLC everywhere in their games. So that's why you need to stop adding so much DLC and stop promoting it as much. So, next thing, if you are so next thing, I'm going back to the GTA Liberty City stories. Um, Leave the DLC for after the game is released. So leave the DLC behind after the game is released. It's not that hard. Um, you're not going. I mean, you already make so much of the money from the game, from the actual game already, from the $60 that gamers give you. Why are you announcing the DLC even if the game is even if the game is not released yet? That's my problem. And just have the DLC have like where it's just an added bonus. It's not like you're forced to pay the DLC. Just add it as an extra bonus, like, or just make the extra bonus free. I don't really care. Just do that. Um, and another thing is make games for everybody, not just casual or hardcore gamers, and include everything in the game. Just include everything in the game. Like I seen a lot of games that are really just don't really get a lot of I seen games that are really just half-assed and they think that getting like half the game is more better than that. So no, you need to include everything in the game. You need to include everything in the game. So include everything that's in the game and and just have and just have and just have the DLC be extra content for the game. It's like if you want so like if let's say if let's do an example like an example I can make up an example like uh let's see let's do Call of Duty let's do Call of Duty Future Warfare even though it's not good. Then that's just added content because you're getting more rockets and plus then yes you're gonna want to buy it. But yeah, but don't make endings like not don't make endings like a be on a paywall. That's the worst part. Yeah. Make add-ons like $1 to $5 or just make them free. It doesn't matter. Just make them free or you can have the add-ons make like $1 for skins, clothes, or little accessories for your character in certain games. Um, I mean that's not too much to ask. I mean that's pretty good. That's a pretty good deal. Other than other than the like $10 to $15 that we have to pay for that. Um, So give more value to buy it. So give more value to buy the game. So give more value to buying it. So there's no season passes, no skins, no add-ons or nothing. Just focus specifically on the content. That's what people are there for. People are there to look to play the game and experience a good experience. They're not gonna want to have the add-ons and stuff like that. They just want to focus specifically on the content. That's what you're supposed to do. Because if not, you're not going to get anywhere. And the last thing is have people progress to the game normally. Oh my god. Mm, Let people progress to the game normally. It's not that hard. It's I yeah, I've seen like endings like certain games that have endings like you have to pay for them. It's not that you want. It's not like that. It's not that you like please just let people progress to the game normally. It's like having it's like having an assistant, but you have to pay for the assistant because you it's like having a voice assistant, but you have to pay in order to have like certain features. So that's what I mean. Have people progress to the game normally. Like if in a racing game, you can let them progress normally. So they're out of their freedom to progress to the game normally. So that is where I draw the line. So yeah. The information presented in the slideshow, and based on my opinion and resources, I can say that I am very worried about how game developers are doing DLC. And in the long run, it is going to bite them one day, and in turn, results will be in more backlash, and it is going to be a bad future for the developers that are doing this DLC thing. So please, so please please make DLC different or just cut off DLC completely from games. That is all.